Scientists have long been focusing not on searching for intelligent beings that currently exist in space and are different from us, but rather on places closer to us where life may have existed in the past. Scientists are carefully examining planets, moons, and even large asteroids within our system that may have once harbored life, and through detailed analysis, they are trying to draw conclusions. Just a few days ago, very strong clues were found on Mars, a nearby planet that often comes up both with the possibility that it may have hosted life in the past and with questions like, could it be humanity's new home in the future? Today, we will talk about these clues and what conditions are necessary for life to exist somewhere. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and write in the comments about any interesting topics you'd like us to cover. Now, if you're ready, let's start our deep journey to Mars. First of all, for life to form on a planet, a moon, or any other celestial body, a number of conditions must be met. One of the most important of these, as you can probably guess, is liquid water. Liquid water plays a crucial role in the fundamental molecular processes of life. It is vital in metabolism, cell reactions, and in structures such as DNA and RNA. Water allows these biochemical molecules to both dissolve and be transported. And this, my friends, is one of the biggest reasons Mars has drawn so much attention from scientists. A while ago, scientists discovered that Mars once had liquid water, even ancient lake beds. This was truly one of the most exciting discoveries made in recent times. But of course, my friends, scientists did not just focus on Mars because of this. They also turned their attention to other planets in the solar system, and even their moons, carrying out detailed studies. Thanks to this process, we encountered the most promising object in our solar system in terms of potential habitability: Jupiter's moon, Europa, which we have prepared a video about before. Scientists studying Europa have come across truly surprising information. Since 1979, with the Voyager spacecraft, scientists have been able to make certain observations about Europa. For example, in the photos sent back to Earth by Voyager, cracks and moving ice structures could be seen on Europa's surface. Later studies revealed that the moon's entire surface was covered in ice, and that beneath this shell there might be deep ocean-like structures. As research continued, the likelihood of water existing on this moon increased, and finally, observations from the Hubble Space Telescope detected water vapor plumes erupting from its surface. In addition, my friends, the same discoveries were made on Saturn's moon Enceladus. Today, these two moons stand before us as the two strongest candidates for harboring life. Anyway, without stretching the topic too much, beyond water, the essential requirements for life include a stable energy source, basic chemical elements, a suitable temperature range, a protective atmosphere and magnetic field, long-term stability without extreme fluctuations, and finally, internal dynamics, meaning geological activity. Although I didn't go into as much detail about these as I did with water, they too are indispensable for life. Let me give you a little spoiler, my friends. In our next video, we will talk about this topic in detail and take a deep look at the source of life itself. Now let's move on to Mars. As you know, Mars has been in the spotlight for many years, not only by scientists, but also by conspiracy theorists and ordinary citizens. Of course, there are multiple reasons for this. Some wealthy people on Earth and those who own space agencies talking about Mars as if it is our new home both increase the number of people interested in the topic and also cause conspiracy theories to become more exaggerated. For example, about 10 years ago, people used to ask questions like, could Mars have once hosted life? Or was Mars once like Earth? Whereas now, people are asking absurd questions such as, when will we colonize Mars? When will we terraform Mars? Or when will we go on vacation to Mars? Ideas and questions that are far beyond our current technology and capabilities. And to be realistic, my friends, scientists are not taking these exaggerated ideas and questions seriously at all, because they know very well that we don't yet have the technology or knowledge to make such things happen. The purpose of scientists right now is to make new discoveries through the space probes sent to Mars, by collecting samples from its surface. In other words, the promises made by that dreamer everyone knows about of terraforming Mars and turning it into a habitable planet are not very realistic. Anyway, friends, let's get back to our main topic. Recently, NASA's rover called Perseverance collected a rock sample from the Jezero Crater region on the Red Planet. This rock was specifically located in a formation known as Bright Angel. The rock itself is called Chayava Falls Tur. Although we don't have exact data about its age, this rock formed between 3.2 and 3.8 billion years ago inside an ancient lake bed. In addition, the lake bed contained mudstone, clay, and muddy sediments. Based on analyses and examinations, the rock was found to contain valuable minerals, such as organic carbon, iron phosphate, and iron sulfide. However, what really caught scientists' attention were the minerals vivianite and greigite. The reason these minerals are important, my friends, is because they are minerals associated with microbial processes on Earth. In addition, on this rock, patterns known as leopard spots were seen, which poetically looked like dark and light-colored speckles. The reason for the formation of these speckles is thought to be a reaction zone formed by the uneven distribution of mineral accumulations together with mud. Moreover, my dear friends, the formation of these speckles also raises the question, were there metabolic activities? On this point, scientists have suggested the following idea. The minerals around the speckles may be associated with microbial metabolic activities. For example, if microbial life had existed underwater, with the presence of oxygen or other elements, it might have used some elements, such as iron and phosphorus, and left behind minerals like vivianite. However, they also do not rule out the possibility that this could have formed through other geological processes. Looking at how most news outlets reported this, they make it sound as if definitive signs of life were found on Mars, but such a thing is not yet certain. Yes, these findings are truly strong indicators for life, but still, there is no definite conclusion. In fact, when we look at scientists' statements, none of them are saying that life has been found. What has actually been found are potential biosignatures. In short, signs that could possibly indicate traces of ancient microbial life. So, there is no situation like life has definitely been found, only strong evidence suggesting that such life might once have existed. And friends, never forget this. Scientists emphasize that these traces could have developed through biological processes just as much as they could have formed through non-biological processes. To reach more detailed information, that rock fragment needs to be brought back to Earth, so scientists can study it in laboratories where they can carry out much more detailed analyses. The current plan is to return it via the mission known as Mars Sample Return, but the timeline for that mission is quite long. Some groups view the presence of these minerals as definitive proof of biological life. But friends, that is not the case. Look, nothing about biological life is ever a single standalone definitive proof. The same goes for minerals. Minerals alone are not proof of life. Similar minerals can be produced by abiotic processes such as oxidation or hydrothermal activity. Please, when you see news like this, don't immediately get swept up in excitement like many others do. Check the source of the news and examine the published evidence for the discovery. As we said at the beginning, a region or body needs multiple conditions for life to be possible. Although the findings discovered on Mars contain very important data in the context of evidence for life, unfortunately, there is still no definitive result. Of course, like everyone else, we are eagerly awaiting the detailed studies that will be done on this rock, even if it will take a long time, and we will continue to share new information with you as it arrives. As I mentioned earlier, our next video's topic will be the origin of life, and we'll go into the details of that subject. Dear friends, while we choose many of our topics ourselves, we also want to research topics that are suggested in the comments and that receive a lot of interest. So please don't forget to share your ideas in the comments. Every space, science, and technology development is always at the center of our attention. To briefly summarize this video, yes, very strong traces and signs indicating biological activity have been found on Mars, but we still have not actually found life or proven it conclusively. We hope that one day we will witness such a development. See you in our next video. Don't forget to support us. We love you all very much. See you soon.